Hey everybody, I'm Katie.
And I'm Otto from the Howard Homestead.
And today we are making personal sized apple pies. We have a lot of favorite fruit recipes, but this one is by far our favorite recipe to make. Otto's been making it since you've been 4?
4?
Yeah, it's easy, and I'll tell you why. There's a pattern crust. You can make this in a normal size pie. You can make it in a cast iron skillet. You can freeze them. And we love the personal size because you can bake them, pull them out, warm from the oven, put a scoop of ice cream on it, and enjoy. Should we get started?
We should.
Okay, so first is the pie crust. Throw out the rolling pin. You don't need it. That's why I love this recipe. It's a simple pattern crust. So it's got flour, a little bit of sugar. We've got some salt in there already. Otto, will you pour the oil in?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. A little bit of cold milk. Awesome, and that's it. Now we're gonna stir it up and we're gonna put it in the jar. So on this one, I'm just gonna put the crust at the bottom because I just like that amount of crust in the pie. You can go up the sides if you want to. If you're going to do that, you could easily double the crust recipe. Another tip about these personal size pies is that I would say get the wide mouth jar. It's just easier to work with. You can get your fingers in there to get that crust in, and it's easier to get more apples in there. I'm gonna finish putting the crust in the jars, and Otto is gonna use the apple core peeler slicer to get our apples ready for the apple pie filling.
Now we will make the apple pie filling. Start with sugar. Add flour. Now add the cinnamon. My mom and I usually add a little extra.
Otto has got all of our apples cut up. We had 6 of them in total. You can mix and match, use whatever type of apple you want. Our favorites are like a Fuji or Honeycrisp, a Granny Smith, kind of mixing and matching. We went to the Stark Brothers orchards and just grabbed some out of the trees there, and they are really, really tasty. So we're excited to try them in this pie. Okay, he has got the mixture mixed up and ready to put on top of the apples. You can see how far I've filled this jar. The apples are gonna cook down a little bit, so you can keep that in mind. We wanna make sure you leave enough room for your crumb topping, but also for the ice cream when these come warm out of the oven. Now for the last step, we're gonna make the topping, which is really just as easy as the crust was. We've got a little bit of sugar, a little bit of flour, and we're gonna cut in some butter, sprinkle it on top, and then put them in the oven. Good job. Otto has it about the right consistency. We used a biscuit cutter to just kind of chop it up. You wanna make sure your butter's cold. Okay, we've got the crust, the apple pie filling, and the topping. We're gonna put 4 of these in the oven for now for the 4 of us and put the rest in the freezer. They can stay in their freezer up to a year. They never last that long here. But we're gonna cook it at 350 for about 30 minutes. If you put a frozen one in the oven, give it about 15 extra minutes to cook. We just pulled them out of the oven. They're bubbling, they're delicious, and they look amazing. They smell amazing. All that's left is to put some vanilla ice cream on top and enjoy. And as always, for more fun recipes, you can go to our growing guide section at starkbros.com.